guys, I'm Lauren Vitale. On this episode of Lauren in the Kitchen, I want to share with you something really basic and simple, but so good. And I've had a lot of people ask for this recipe, and I think it's because it's been going around all over the place. I've seen these everywhere, but these are just my maple cutout cookies. They're often also known as maple leaf cookies, but call them what you want. They're a good sugar cookie that's infused with maple syrup, good maple syrup. The ingredients you'll need are not very many, and they're not complicated ones. You're gonna need all-purpose flour. I use baking powder and salt, some granulated sugar, some good dark maple syrup. Make sure you get the right stuff and not the imitation. Unsalted butter that's been softened to room temperature, an egg, and some vanilla extract. It's really important to get this cookie to come out really well, that you get the highest quality, darkest maple syrup you can get your hands on, because it does make a huge difference. I'm going to be making mine with my standing mixer fitted with a paddle attachment, but you can use, of course, a bowl and a wooden spoon or a spatula, and it would do exactly the same thing. Okay, I'm going to cream together the butter and my granulated sugar just for like a minute or so. And add my egg along with my maple syrup. Like I said, a nice dark maple syrup makes all the difference in the world, and a good splash of vanilla. Not much, maybe about half a teaspoon or so. Okay, and then I'm just going to bring this back to about medium speed and get it going for about a minute or two, or until it's really well combined. Lower this down. Make sure you give everything a good scrape every time you add a new ingredient, because you want to make sure everything is really well combined. All right, now I'm going to add in the dry ingredients. Just add them all in at once. This is a cookie dough. It's not a batter, so there's no, oh, look what I did. Can you believe this? You can't, you don't know, you don't want to know. You saw nothing. I'm just gonna mix this until it's combined. Okay, this looks phenomenal. And you can really, really smell the maple syrup, which is just gonna give it the most amazing sort of deep flavor. Okay, really important now that you pop this into the fridge for a couple of hours, because it needs to set, otherwise you're not going to be able to cut out your cookies. So I'm going to get this out of here, wrap it with some plastic wrap, stick it in the fridge for a couple of hours. You can even do it overnight, of course, and then we are going to form them and bake them. My dough was in the fridge for about 3 hours. I took it out about 5 minutes ago, because you always want it to come to room temperature for a little bit. Then I cut it in half on a floured surface. I'm just going to roll it out. I like to warm it up with my hands. And I'm going to cut this, or I'm going to roll it into like a little less than a 1/4 inch thick, but a little more than 1/8 of an inch thick. And you can see it's such a beautiful dough. And I'm telling you, when you use good maple syrup, you can smell that maple syrup before you even bake these, which is amazing. Okay, this is good enough. This looks good. I've got my oven preheating to 375, got my baking sheets with some parchment paper. I am ready to cut out some cookies. I've got just different shapes here of leaves. That's what I'm going to use today. Look at that. These are going to be so phenomenal. If you want to, you can absolutely frost these with like a frosting of some sort, like a maple frosting. I just don't think it's necessary. I love the cookie the way it is, but like I said, you absolutely can if you want to. I just, like I said, don't find it necessary to frost them. I think they're delicious just as is, with a little bit of tea, with maybe some pumpkin spiced lattes, coffee, anything your heart desires. I'm just going to bake these for now, and I'm going to wrap the rest of them and stick the dough in the freezer. That way I've got my own maple sugar dough, whatever you want to call it, on hand for whenever I'm feeling like rolling some cookies. Love that with dough, with cookie dough. Always make extra. I'm going to pop these in. They're going to bake for about 8 to 10 minutes. Make sure you rotate your baking sheets halfway through so that they bake evenly, and I'll show you what they look like when they are done. These babies were in the oven for 8 minutes exactly. They smell divine. I've let them cool for a bit, but they're still quite warm. I can smell that maple syrup, and it makes me happy. And like I said, if you want to do a glaze, you certainly can, but you don't need it. And they're so yummy. I think you're really going to enjoy these. Very good. A beautiful sugar cookie that's kicked up a notch with that subtle flavor of that beautiful dark amber maple syrup. Go to laurainthekitchen.com to get the brain recipe. Let me know what you want to see next, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.